Salute to everybody in the house. Salute the Quiet Storm, Sean in the house. Salute, peace.
Boom shakalaka!
Appreciate everybody in the house, man. Y'all do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, share the video. We got a good show lined up one more time. I hope I'm coming in loud and clear. Y'all let me know if the sound coming through proper. If not, I'll make some adjustments. But if so, we'll rock on. Salute. And like I say, we got a good show lined up. We're gonna talk about some truths. We're gonna touch on the subject that we done touched on before. The title of this show is Christopher Columbus discovers the Indies. Salute. Christopher Columbus discovers the Indies. That is the title of the show. Now I know some people sitting back and say, well, hold up, Black Jack, I thought Christopher Columbus discovered America.
You big dummy.
Well, that's what they say, you know, that's what they tell us. But that's not what Christopher Columbus said himself. Christopher Columbus took pride in saying he discovered the Indies. Salute. In fact, according to the narrative, when Christopher Columbus landed on our shores, There was no word as America according to them, right? According to them, the country was named after the land was named after Amerigo Vespucci, who they say came after Columbus, right? They tell you in the narrative, yeah, America is named after Amerigo Vespucci. Well, he came after Columbus, so how could you say Columbus discovered America? Salute.
You big dummy.
We got to be historically accurate when we talk about what we talk about. According to their own history, when Columbus landed on our shores, there was no such thing as America. Columbus said he discovered the Indies, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna prove it. Like I say, this is an advanced lesson. This is an advanced lesson. Some people might not understand where we're going, but that's okay. We get you caught up. Christopher Columbus, his claim to fame was discovering the Indies, not America. Now, some people gonna want to say, well, they told us he didn't know where he was going, Blackjack. I get it. They told you Christopher Columbus ain't know where he was going. That was all a part. That's what they told you, but is that what Christopher said? Christopher didn't say he ain't know where he was going. Christopher said he knew exactly where he was going. And the storyteller said, we're going to get into the evidence, but right now we're looking at a key piece of evidence, an ancient map. It's an ancient map of what is now known as America. But on the top of the map, we see India Superior. We see India Superior in the land that is known today as North America. Salute. Now this is important. Some people gonna say, well, why does this matter? They're gonna say, what does this got to do with anything? It got a lot to do with everything. Hey, Carol Prince in the house, salute. Big up from Trinidad, the brethren from Trinidad in the house, salute. All right.
Boom shakalaka.
Out of Trinidad. We're gonna touch on a lot of this truth here. So they're gonna say, oh, well, Blackjack, what does it matter that this old map says India Superior? It matters a lot. In fact, why you think when Columbus got here, he called the people Indians? Salute. He didn't call them Native Americans. He called them Indians. And when he called them Indians, it didn't mean it didn't cover the people that you think it covers today. You know, you say the word Indian today, they say, well, which one are you talking about? You talking about American Indian? Or you talk about the East Indian? That's what will be said today if you use the word Indian. Some people might automatically infer to the East, the so-called East Indian. You know, the people with the red dot on their forehead over there in ancient Hindustan. Some people gonna defer to that when you use the word Indian. Other people gonna say, "Oh, do you mean American Indian?" Now, a red flag should raise in your mind right away when someone said, "Well, what do you mean, a East Indian or a West Indian?" Now, you should have a red flag going off in your head right away on one principle. Why is a West Indies in one part of the world, in a whole nother hemisphere, and the so-called East Indies in another part of the world? Now, here's where the deception lies. Just like you got North and South Korea, usually when you have two nations, or you have a nation separated in half, like East and West Germany, it's still really one nation and one land. Now, why on earth do we have the West Indies in the so-called Americas, and then you got the so-called East Indies in a whole nother part of the world, right? You got to ask yourself, why is this set up like this? This is the only place that's set like this. You don't have any other place. Like I said, you got North and South Korea, it's all just Korea. But the East and the West Indies, for some reason, are not combined. They are separate. And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to break it down. Hey, Dale Fitnatic in the house, salute. Well, it's a very good reason behind all this deception, and we're going to talk about it because Columbus discovered the Indies. Columbus discovered the Indies, not so-called America. And like I say, we're looking at the ancient map, and we got some sources we're going to cover to break down what we're saying and connect a few dots. Now, the historical narrative tell us Christopher Columbus set sail. I just asked Google, why did Columbus set sail? So when you ask it like that, you sound real naive. You know, like you sound like a kindergartner or maybe a fifth grader. And you ask your teacher, "Hey, Bobby Huggy in the house, salute. Bobby Shig in the house, tribe what, salute." You say, "Why Columbus set sail?" You know, you was in the fifth grade. Your teacher told you this BS. Christopher Columbus set sail to find a westward sea route to east to reach Asia. Now this is what your teacher will tell you, or modern historians will tell you that didn't even live during the time. This is not what Columbus said. Columbus wrote his reasons in a journal. He wrote a diary. We're going to cover that. But this is what the AI tell us. This is what your teacher would tell you in the fifth grade. They told you he went west to go to Asia, and Columbus never mentioned Asia whatsoever. You got to key in on that. These deceptions are here for a reason. You got to slow down, because that's why I say we got to speak accurately about things. Accurately. Columbus didn't discover America. He discovered the Indies. Now let's get it. It say the AI says he set sail to find a westward sea route to reach Asia. Then they say specifically India and China. Now, when did Columbus say, "Yeah, I'm looking for a westward route to find Asia and specifically India and China"? When did he say that? He never said that, salute. Now we know for a fact in 1492 Columbus never said he set sail to reach India and China. He said he was setting sail to go to the Indies, right? And in fact, the place that you told are India and China today, there's no way that Columbus was headed there. Even if you run with this, what they're saying, he looking for a westward route to reach Asia, you know, Hindustan. It's no way. It's no way, simply because there's no way Columbus was searching for that, simply because, by the way, join us on Rumble. We got House of Cons over there on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, join us. We're trying to get at least 30 subscribers, and we're gonna start going on live over there. But there's no way Columbus was going to Hindustan, or so-called East India, because in the 1400s, the known world was only this highlighted area. And you see they got Asia, and you don't see India anywhere. In fact, it was called Hindustan. Now, this is important for a reason. Liam in the house, salute. This is important for a very good reason, because we need to understand why they are lying to us about the whole reason Columbus came here. There's no India listed here in this map of the known world in 1400. Key, the known world, Columbus had yet to explore over here to America. This was unknown. So in their known world, there was no country called India in 1492. There was no country known as India in 1492. There was no country known as India in 1492. They're speaking of their known world. The world they knew, the land they knew. There's no land called India in the known world in 1492. So where could Columbus couldn't have been going to Hindustan looking for India. Where could he really have been going? He had to be going to the unknown world. Why would he even go west? He wouldn't travel west to go east. That is ridiculous. You have to be very brainwashed and slow to believe someone would travel this way to end up this way. And that's when they gonna tell you, "Oh yeah, because the world is round." Another deception. Another deception.
You big dummy.
He went west to go east, and the world is round. And you fell for it, right? We all did, right? No, Columbus went so-called west, cardinal west, because he knew that's where India superior lay. He didn't go west to land in Hindustan and so-called Asia. He didn't go west because the world was so-called round to end up in Hindustan and Asia. He went west to land in not North America, India superior, salute. Papa Dad in the house, Robin Nelson in the house, Curtis in the house, salute, tribe up.
Boom shakalaka.
He went west, cardinal, so-called cardinal west. He went cardinal west to go to India because he knew that America, so-called, wasn't even called America when Columbus rode. When Columbus came, it was India Superior. That's why he said he discovered the Indies. He didn't say he discovered America. This should be the Indies, North and South Indies. He discovered the Indies. In 1492, the country that is now known as India was called Hindustan. So why are they lying? Why are they telling us that he was headed to India and they're claiming it was Hindustan? See, they take the truth and they twist it with a lie. Christopher Columbus set sail to find a westward sea route to reach Asia. Specifically though, India and China. See what they did there? They threw you off throwing Asia in there. Yeah, he went west to find India, but it was not in Asia. Or their so-called Asia. Let me speak more specifically. In their so-called Asia. In order to access the lucrative spice trade, remember they said he was looking for spices and herbs, right? That was largely controlled by the Middle East at the time. He believed by selling west, he could reach these lands faster and bring back valuable goods, like spices and gold to Europe. Now listen to this ridiculousness. This is the lie. He believed by selling west he could reach these lands faster. Don't that sound stupid? By selling west, yeah, you're gonna reach these lands faster because the lands are here, not over here. If the lands were here, he wouldn't even have to sail. He could travel by land, which would be much easier. If India was over here, he would only have to travel by land. He wouldn't need a water route, period. So when they say he's traveling west to go to India, they're talking about so-called North and South America, and that's exactly what he did. They're twisting the truth. Sometimes we got to look at history for ourselves. What did Columbus say? Let's read that. Let's not read what they're telling us he said it meant. And what they said he made a mistake. He didn't say he made a mistake. They're saying that. What did Columbus aim to do? Columbus wanted to find a new route to India, China, and Japan, the Spice Islands. That's what they tell you, right? To throw you off, right? To throw you, to make you think India is somewhere else. But what was Columbus really doing, though? When Columbus came to India, yeah, he was taking it. Hey, old breeze in the house, salute tribe up.
Boom shakalaka!
Yeah, he came on the trade, but was it for herbs and spices and stuff to take to Europe, like he said? Well, some people argue, yes, he came and he took that from India Superior. Yes, he did. He did plunder the Indies. But what was his real legacy? They say he came for herbs and spices. Well, if you really look at the real legacy, you know, you ain't gotta believe this what your kindergarten teacher told you. Yeah, man, he thought the world was round. He went west to go to Asia. Well, that's where India was at. You can believe that if you want to, or you can read and interpret for yourself, and you can understand for yourself. You can read this bull jive narrative, or you can interpret for yourself. Like when you read this, what was he really doing? Well, the real legacy of Christopher Columbus was slavery. Yeah, the slave trade. Yeah, they talking about he was trading, taking stuff back to Europe. What was he really taking back to Europe? Slaves. His real legacy was the slave trade. The so-called diaspora, right? What kind of diaspora? They want to tell you what so-called African diaspora. But did you know Columbus started the slave trade? Did you know Columbus started the diaspora? The real legacy of Columbus was slavery. Dummy. Opening the continent of the Indies to slavery. The Indies, so-called America, to slavery. Columbus was the first European slave trader in the Americas. Hold up. Your kindergarten teacher never told you that. They never told you that. I wonder why they didn't tell you that. I know exactly why your kindergarten teacher didn't tell you Columbus was the first slave trader in so-called the Americas, aka the Indies, just like they told you all the other lies. They didn't tell you that because Columbus took slaves from the so-called Americas, the so-called Indies. He didn't bring slaves from Africa to Americas. He initiated the slave trade by taking Indians from the Indies to Europe. That's his real legacy. That's why your teacher didn't tell you, because it don't go along with the fake African diaspora narrative. And we can read about it so easily how Columbus created the slave trade. Who created the slave trade? Columbus, right? It wasn't Kunta Kinte, it was Columbus that created the slave trade that changed the world's economy. Even before Christopher Columbus arrived in the so-called New World, slavery was already in existence, but it was Columbus who turned it into a worldwide enterprise. Columbus got to the Indies and he exploded with slavery. He made it the basis of the New World economic system. Who made slavery the basics of the Indies, the so-called America? It was Columbus. And how did he do it? You mean to tell me he brought Africans there? No, that's not how he accomplished it. How did he do it then? Let's see. Let's read about it. Now, now they want to hijack and slow me up. They want to slow my vibe. It's loading now, I guess. Before 1492, it was not uncommon for Indians to enslave tribes they defeated in battle. Although, man, I'm gonna go to another one, man. I don't feel like all this. I'm not interested in all these pop-ups. We just trying to read Orlando Sentinel. There's other ones that talk about it too. It's all right. Let's go to this one. The Liberation School. Let's see what they got about this true story. Second Monday of October is Columbus Day, celebrated as a federal holiday in the U.S. since 1971. This day marks the anniversary of Christopher Columbus' 1492 landing in the Americas. His discovery of the New World, the Indies, for the benefit of the Spanish monarchy. Columbus Day is a day of parades, pageants, and blah, blah, blah. To celebrate, but they don't get what's being celebrated, right? Celebrate, blah, blah, blah. To celebrate a legacy of genocide, slavery, rape, and plunder. It commemorates the violent and bloody accumulation of capital for the ruling classes of Europe and later the U.S. Columbus' voyage was financed by the Spanish monarchy, so they say, right? Spain was then a newly unified nation that in competition with other European powers to expand its domain and amass great wealth. The purpose of his expedition was to establish an alternative trade route to the east, see, there's the hijack, and return with riches, there's the hijack, to establish an alternative slave trade route. When he landed in the islands now known as the Bahamas, Columbus encountered the Arawak Indians, whose kindness and generosity he noted in his journal and letters. Columbus quickly took a group of Arawaks captive. He kidnapped them, hoping they could lead him to gold. He then sailed to Hispaniola, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, where he enslaved even more Indians. In Haiti, ancient Haiti, in the Dominican Republic, enslaving Negro Indians. And when he after returning to Spain and reporting on the incredible wealth in the islands of the New World, the monarch gave Columbus 17 slave ships and more than 1,200 war-band soldiers, men to plunder in the now called, don't call it the Indies no more, call them Caribbean now. Shut up with that Indies stuff. We're gonna just rename everything. His new expeditions went from island to island, gathering slaves and gold with unprecedented brutality. Now, what those slaves he gathered and took back to Spain looked like, well, we know because we done seen it before, right? Over here, we done seen it before, especially if you've been with me for a while. You know exactly what they look like. What the slaves Columbus took from, let me put it up. I got it right here somewhere. Hold on. Go to the right page. I got a lot of sources up right now. Let me just put it up. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me go to Google first so I get the right one. Columbus returns to Barcelona paying. Columbus returned to Barcelona paying. Let's go to images. See, it usually pop up first, but they've been hijacking the sources. I already had the source pulled up. Hold on, let me look back one more time. I already had the source pulled up, actually. A lot of times, I think they be peeping what we doing. Yeah. Look, In March 1493, Christopher Columbus returned to Spain after his first voyage and was welcomed by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella in Barcelona. Columbus presented the monarchs with gifts, including kidnapped Taínos, Indians, slaves, plants, and other items he had collected. The monarchs were convinced. Now, when you click on images, there you go right here. The first one. Let's go ahead and pull it up where we can really see it. Let's pull up another one. We're going to pull it up on the page. Let's pull up the Indians he kidnapped as slaves. All the slaves he was taking from Haiti and everywhere. He took back to Spain with him. With their feathers on. And their birds. And a plate of gold. Like the Moor with the emerald clusters. So we see who these people they was enslaving. They're not Africans, but they so-called black as hell, right? They're not Africans though. These Taínos. And then they started even calling them Caribs. He called them Indians because he said he arrived to the Indies. He said these are Indians. Salute.
Darkness, everybody! Everyone! Darkness is spreading!
So we see, and this the Spanish monarchs received Columbus. We can click on it. This is an old painting by a famous painter. They bringing all the plants from America, pineapples. We got the Indians. They not red men with long straight hair either. These some nappy-headed so-called Negroes. Some people would call Africans. And they always said the majority was the Negro. And then they said there might be a few fair-skinned Indians sometimes. And this looked like it's possibly one here. But this would be a so-called Negro also. Now, when we continue along and we get this understanding of what was really going on, why Columbus really came, he wasn't looking for no route to Hindustan. That big old lie your teacher told you, yeah, he was looking for a westward route to Hindustan. He went the wrong way to try to get to Hindustan. That big lie they told you was to hide stuff. It's for the hide stuff. For one, to hide what the land really is and to hide who you really are. So, of course, Columbus was looking for a route to the Indies. And that's why when he got here, he encountered the people he encountered, and he called them Indians. Columbus didn't call them Americans. He called them Indians. Columbus said, this is the Indies. He said, these are Indians, not Americans. Columbus said, this is the Indies I have found. And he went back to show off his success. He brought back the golds, the pearls, and the Naga. And he enslaved the Naga. And he started the whole slave trade in the so-called Americas. He started the Indies diaspora, the diaspora of the true Indies. Columbus started that. He took Indians and enslaved them and showed them off to the Spanish monarch. They got paintings to show you. And then when you go to these paintings and you read the description, it tells you, you know, this is legit. It's older than all us. You look at the details. The Spanish monarchs received Columbus in Barcelona after his first voyage. This was by Ramon Pagari. He lived from 1820 to 1903. This is what he painted. What the Indians, the Arawaks, and the so-called Caribs that Columbus enslaved and took back to the Spanish crown to show off. This is what Mr. Pagari, who died in 1903, painted. The very famous painting. So when we read this stuff and we understand that our teachers lied to us and we start reading the truth, that he wasn't looking for no Hindustan curry. Columbus ain't go to Hindustan looking for no curry spices. He definitely ain't go the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? He definitely ain't go the wrong way to get to Hindustan looking for some curry, some curry chicken. He definitely did not do that. He knew exactly what India that he was going to, the Indies. And he said he landed in the Indies. He said he was successful. He didn't say, oh, I messed up, I found America. That's what the liar said. Columbus wrote back and he said he found the Indies. Christopher Columbus believed he had reached the Indies when he landed. It wasn't the Americas. Amerigo Vespucci ain't even been there yet in 1492.
You big dummy.
How could you call it America and you say it's named after Amerigo Vespucci when Vespucci wasn't even there yet in 1492? Columbus said he landed in the Indies. Columbus knew about the map of India Superior. Columbus was not going to Hindustan. There was no land in their known world called India. India was in the unknown world, which is why he called the people he encountered Indians. He didn't call them Indians because they was red men with long straight hair. No, he didn't call them that because they was white men. No, he called them Indians because he knew he had arrived in the Indies, the India Superior, fool. That's what Columbus knew.
Boom shakalaka!
You got to be very specific when we read and what it said, which is why he called them Indians, because he mistakenly thought he had reached, look, East Asia, see, hijack. Not a new continent. This is why the Caribbean islands are referred to as the West Indies. False. Columbus never called them the West Indies.
You big dummy.
Columbus said he reached the Indies. Columbus never acknowledged East Indies because, as we know, there was no country known as India in 1492 in their known land. Not in the unknown land. In their known land, there was no India. It was only Hindustan. No country, land, sea, or people in the world were named India prior to until they found America. Look.
You big dummy.
They admit it. The AI admit it and don't even know they telling the truth. We done tricked the AI into telling the truth. Look, no country, land, or people in the world were named India until 1492.
Boom shakalaka!
Until Columbus went over there to so-called America, which we know as the Indies, and he found the Nagas. Yeah, no land, sea, or peoples. Look, and notice why they said that. I'm finna show you something important. No country, land, or sea, or people were named India before 1492. Now this is important. No country is important, no land is important, and no sea. That land that was called Hindustan. That country was called Hindustan. Those people were called Hindu people. Not because of a religion, not because of a Hindu religion, because they were the people of Hindustan. No sea. There was no Indian Ocean. Because some people gonna say, well, Black Jack. They're gonna say, well, Black Jack. How that's not India? They go to the Indian Ocean. They just told you there was no sea called India before 1492. Columbus told you the Indian Ocean was here on your side of the pond. We will break these lies down one at a time because we got time. As a matter of fact, you don't believe me? Yeah, y'all think I don't want to do my homework. Yeah, I'm the teacher, but I also do my homework. Probably better than most. Manhattan Project in the house, salute. I do my homework better than most. I always have. The Indian Ocean. The Indian Ocean is the third largest in the world, right? It is bounded by so-called Asia to the north, Africa and Australia, a bunch of hijacks. Once called the Eastern Ocean, it is now named after India. It is now named after India. Oh, all this changing the names. All this replacing stuff. Let's replace it. Let's place it here now. Let's replace that. Which protrudes into it. It has been known by its current name since 1515. After Columbus came to the Indies. You do not want to F with me on this subject. You really do not want to F with me on this conversation if you want to go against me. Yeah, all of a sudden, oh, it's the Indian Ocean now. After 1515, huh? Yeah, we know it was. We know Hindustan in the Eastern Ocean. We know it was no land, people, or sea in the world that you know before 1492, because before 1492 the world you knew was very small. You didn't know what was in the unknown world. Somebody gave Columbus the drop. Somebody told Columbus that you have to go west to get to the Indies, not the so-called cardinal east. You're going the wrong way. Columbus knew you have to go west. He knew that's where the true Indian Ocean was. He knew that's the Indies was at, and the true Indian people. But let's continue. Yeah, Christopher knew he reached the Indies when he landed in India Superior. Let's be specific. Let's be for real. Not the West Indies. He landed in the Indies. Now this page was just up. Why they want to read? So how did Columbus know so much about the Indies? Because they say he was a secret Jew. Christopher Columbus, the name evokes visions of sailing ships, strange lands, adventures, and discovery. His likeness carved in marble or cast in bronze stands in cities such as Barcelona, Madeira, Genoa, Havana, Cartagena, San Juan, Santo Domingo, and Washington, D.C. Have you ever pondered the reason why Columbus decided to sail in search of a new land? Hold up! I thought he was in search of Hindustan. I thought he was in search of a land. You said a new land. I thought he was in search of a land in his known world. They say he was India was supposed to be over here in their known world. How could it be a new land? Because the new land is here in the unknown world. You got to read between the lines. You got to interpret the truth. The trip is famous. Known to every school child, but the reasons for it are considerably more complex than commonly supposed. Salute.
Biatch. You big dummy.
In 1492, Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand had issued an edict of ejection regarding the Jews. It decreed that every person of Jewish ancestry had to leave Spain or be executed. As a result, several Jewish businessmen went to Christopher Columbus, a Genoese Jew whose family had supposedly converted to Christianity, under duress, and pledged to finance his efforts to discover a new land. They purchased 2 or 3 ships that carried Columbus and his sailors across the ocean to find the territory that would later become known as the Americas. To find the territory of the Indies. Columbus said we're gonna take it from the horse's mouth. Columbus said the Indies. Why was this so crucial? King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella were seeking a means to unite the country and had selected Thomas de Torquemada as the Inquisidor general for most of Spain. The harassment began with attempts to drive out Jews, Protestants, and non-believers. Benzion Netanyahu, father of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, was one of the world's leading scholars on this era and wrote a great deal. Hell yeah. He think he the leading scholar. I'm the leading scholar. Hey, so we're gonna look at the American Yacht Journal the Journal of Christopher Columbus, 1492. I'm tired of all these hijacks telling me where the Indies at and how's the Indies over here and the Indies over there at the same time, how the West over here and the East over here, and why Columbus went there talking about he was looking for some Kamala curry chicken. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it. So I did some digging and I found Columbus' very own journal. The Journal of Columbus in 1492. The Journal of Columbus, 1492. The first encounters between Europeans and the Indians were dramatic events, right? In this account, we see the assumption and intentions of Christopher Columbus as he immediately began assessing the potential of these people to serve European economic interests, to enslave them. He also predicted easy success for missionaries seeking to convert these people to Christianity. So as soon as he get to the Indies, he looking to enslave the people. He ain't looking for no curry chicken recipe or no spices and herbs and no shorter route to Hindustan. That bull jive. He took 17 slave ships when it was all said and done, and he took soldiers to capture slaves from day one. Presently, many on Thursday, October 11th. Presently, many inhabitants of the islands assembled. Now before I start this, somebody gonna say why they lied about all this. They don't want you to know Columbus started the slave trade because they don't want you to know the slave trade started in America, not Africa.
You big dummy.
They don't want you to know the slaves were really Indians, not Africa.
You big dummy.
They know you know the slaves was Negroes. They just done trick you to make you think the Negroes was from somewhere else. They played the lie so even deep, they made you think your land was somewhere else.
You big dummy.
They played this lie on top of lie on top of lie on top of lie. That you got so much work to do that you probably just give up. You'll probably say, well, what's it even matter now, right? Presently, many inhabitants of the islands assemble. What follows is the actual words of the admiral in his book of the first navigations and discovery of the Indies. Not of America, of the Indies. Not of East India, not of West India, not of the West Indies, not of the East Indies, not of Hindustan, of the Indies. He says. He didn't say America. This is his words. That we might form great friendships. For I know that they were a people who could be more easily freed and converted to our holy faith by love than by force. That's why you think they forced Christianity on your grandma and your great granddad and enslaved them. He talking about them right here. And gave to them red caps and glass beads to put round their necks, and many other things of little value, which gave them great pleasure, and made them so much our friends that it was a marvel to see. They afterwards came to the ship's boats where we were, and we thought, dang, this is a good chance to kidnap them and take someone back to Barcelona and show them off to the crown, where they'll give us a whole bunch of more slave ships and we can come get all of them and we can come take the land. That's what they said. They say, if they walk on the ship, pull the anchor up and we gonna just float on off and head back to Spain. We're gonna kidnap them. But later on, we're gonna tell their great grandchildren that we kidnapped them from Africa. Oh, why it's trying to drag? Why it's trying to see? Hold on, man. They trying to mess with me now. Look at it, dragging my screen over. All right, y'all don't play no games today. Let's continue. So they kidnapping. They getting people on the ship. They sliding off with them. They said by love then force. Trick them into coming on the ship. Give them some of them red caps and the glass beads and put it around their neck. And many other things of little value, which gave them great pleasure and made them so much our friends that it was a marvel to see. They afterwards came to the ships. And they said, we got them now. Where we were swimming and bringing us parrots, cotton threads, and skins, darts, and many other things. They say they were swimming to the ship, bringing them parrots, cotton threads, skins, and many other things, right? And Ramon Pulgari knew it. Ramon Pulgari, who died in 1903, he said, yup. He said, yup, I know what you did. He said, you know what? I'm going to paint it because y'all going to try to lie about this later. Ramon Pulgari said, man, let me paint this stuff because they finna lie later on, tell these Negroes they from Africa and lie about the whole story. They done swam to the ship with their parrots. We done tricked them and we done pulled off. Columbus done initiated the whole African diaspora and he ain't never been to Africa. We'll just call them African Americans now. But they Indians from the Indies. That's what he told her. He said, man, I found the Indies, dear crown. He said, oh, Columbus, my royal servant. He said, yes, your highness. I found the Indies. He said, I found the Indies and I brought back some Indians. We'll make them slaves. And we'll start the whole slave trade in the Indies. He said, well, you don't need to call it Indies no more because everybody's going to catch on to what we're doing. We'll name it something later. But for now, we'll figure something out. They say, yeah, maybe we can say, since we're going to steal all this land, maybe we can tell the kids that, you know, the Indies was really in Hindustan. Sounds like a plan. Yup, that's what he did. Very simply. That's what they simply did. And we're going to read some more about it right here. If my screen you want to add right, they want to freeze up on me because they mad because, you know, it's people get online and connect the dots. You know, we historical whistleblowers. All right. So yeah, he said they had their parrots and all, skins, darts, and many other things. And we exchanged them for other things that we gave them, such as glass beads and small bells. In fine, they took all and gave what they had with goodwill. It appeared to me to be a race of people, very poor in everything. They go as naked as when their mothers bore them, and so do the women. Although I did not see more than one young girl, all I saw were youths, none more than 30 years of age. They are very well made, with very handsome bodies and very good countenances. Their hair is short and coarse. Yup, short and coarse. He said they in good shape. He said they don't got on a lot of clothes. They look kind of poor, like the naga barefooted and all. He said, look at them feet. He said, but he very well made though. And he got some nappy hair. They say the hair is very short and coarse, not long and straight. They said, whoa. They said, Columbus, you're giving up a bit too many details. Hold up a minute, buddy. He said, yeah. He said, this race, he said, they go kind of naked. Like, I think they po. That's when their mothers bore them. Although I did not see many young girls, all I saw were youths, more than 30 years of age. They are very well made, with very handsome bodies and very good countenances. Their hair is short and coarse, almost like the hairs of a horse's tail. They wear their hairs brought down to the eyebrows, except a few locks behind, which they wear long and never cut. Now look it up. Ain't that two different descriptions? He first said their hair is short and coarse. Then he said some of them wear their hair long and never cut. That sounds like you knockers right now, for real. And when I look back at the picture, it kind of add up. I see short and coarse, and then I see some long hair that's possibly knotted in locks. I don't know. But I'm following along. I hope y'all following along too. Now this is where they gonna start throwing that hijack. I believe they edited Columbus' words like they try to do today. He said they paint themselves black. See, that's when I know.
You big dummy.
Boom shakalaka!
As soon as I saw they paint themselves black, I said, oh, see the hijack done twisted around. They said, wait a minute, Columbus, you're saying a bit too much. Don't say they were black. They say, edit that. Columbus said they black. They said paint themselves in there. They put paint themselves in there. They paint themselves black. And they are the color of the Canarians, neither black nor white. See what they did there? See what they did there? Hijack.
Boom shakalaka!
Paint themselves black. Now what? He say they paint themselves black, but they neither black nor white. He say some paint themselves white, others red, and others of what they could find, color they could find. Some paint their faces, others their whole body. Some only round the eyes, others only on the nose. They neither carry nor know nothing of arms. But let's get back to this painting and these colors. He never really said what color they was. Yeah. He didn't say they was red, yellow, black, or white, or brown. That's why I know because the first thing they mentioned was black. They paint themselves black. And the only thing I could think of, the first thing you mentioned is black. And then I go over here, I don't see nobody with no paint on. I see what y'all did. So when every time we see they painted themselves black, we know they talking about so-called Negroes. I see what they doing. That's how they explain the skin color. They say, well, he wasn't black, he painted himself black. The throw off. Look, let's go down, let's get some more to this. because he gonna tell a lot of truths how he gonna enslave them. He say, they neither carry nor know anything of arms, firearms. For I showed them swords, and they took them by the blade and cut themselves through ignorance. He said they didn't know nothing except bow and arrow. He said they have no iron. He said their darts being wands without iron, some of them having a fish tooth at the end, and others being pointed in various ways. They are all of fair stature and size, with good laces and well made. I saw some with marks of wounds on their bodies, and I made signs to ask what it was, and they gave me to understand that people from other adjacent islands came with intention of seizing them, and that they defeated them, and that they defended themselves. I believed and still believe that they come here from the mainland to take them prisoners. They should be good servants. They should be good slaves, indentured servants, and intelligent. For I observed that they quickly took in what was said to them, and I believe that they would easily be made Christians, like your grandma and your granddaddy, who was enslaved and Christianity was forced upon. How they forced Christianity and enslaved your great-great-grandparents. They told you they was from Africa, huh? They said they should be good servants. They say, and made to be Christians, as it appeared to me that they had no religion. He didn't know that it was the 12 tribes. He didn't know that it was the Israelites. Other people knew it, but this dummy didn't know it. Columbus didn't. And I think that's a lie. Columbus knew exactly who he was. This is another interpretation. People are rewriting stuff. Our Lord, being pleased, would take hence at the time of my departure 6 natives for your highness, that they may learn to speak. He said he was going to take 6 natives for your highness. Let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little Indians. Maybe, yeah, 1 died on the way. That's right. 1 died on the way. I forgot. He got 5 right there because 1 died on the way. Look, hold on. They should be good servants. He say he'll take 6 little Indians, and that they may learn to speak. I saw no beasts of any kind except parrots on this island. The above is in the words of the admiral. As soon as dawn broke, many of these people came to the beach, all youths. They said when the sun went down, he was like, the Nagas came to the beach to turn up. Y'all Nagas be easy to catch, man. Y'all be on the party and ain't paying no attention. He said, as soon as dawn broke, many of the Nagas came to the beach, all youths, as I have said, and all of good stature, a very handsome people. Because we look better than Africans. So we're not no Africans, we look better than them. They don't wrong with them talking about they us. That old bull jive. They not us. Their hair is not curly, but loose and coarse, like horse hair. And all the forehead is broad. See, this might be hijacked because they contradict in what he said. They said it was short and coarse earlier. Now he's saying the hair is not curly, but loose and coarse. See, he's saying something different. And all the forehead is broad, more so than any other people I have hereto seen. Their eyes are very beautiful and not small, and themselves far from black, but the color of the Canarians. Now look at that, he's saying far. Why did he have to? This how you know it's hijacked. I believe he said they was black. Because why would they even have to insinuate before they even start telling you what color they was? He had to go, well, they were far from black. Before we start, I just want to let you know they're far from black. I don't believe Columbus even probably wrote that part. I believe that may be a hijack. He probably said they was black. And the hijack, system now probably said, wait a minute, man. We can't expose this. Columbus talking about they were black. Just edit that, and when you type it up, put that he said they was far from black. You see what I'm saying? Why would he mention black first? He had to say they was black. Now he want to put in the far from black, right? But the color of the Canarians. Not should anything else be expected, as this island is in a line east and west from the island of Hito in the Canary Sea. Now they trying to say the people come from the Canaries. You see what they doing? They saying, well, it's close to the Canaries and they kind of look like them. Well, you know, all right. Let's show you what the people of the Canaries look like, man, these liars. Well, we'll go ahead and show you just to make you get a picture of what they're talking about. I might should have put indigenous people, because they might just show us some modern shit. People of the Canaries. So you see what they're trying to say, right? But you know it, the indigenous people of every land was the Naga. See, they try to say they white people, which is a lie. That's how I know that's a hijack. Yeah, they look like the Canaries. The legs are very straight, all in one line. I thought he just described them up here. He just told us they were black as hell. They look like that. He said they were so black, I thought they painted themselves. He said their hair was short and coarse. Now we got a whole nother description going on. You gotta be careful. They gonna hijack. Now their hair is not coarse. Now they far from black, right? Nor should anything else be expected, as this island is in line east, blah, blah, blah. Their legs are very straight, all in one line, and no belly, but very well formed. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of a tree like a longboat. See, they made the dugout canoes. They came to the ship in small canoes made out of the trunk of one tree. Now, it's funny because you got people in South America, so-called Maroons, who so-called was Africans that escaped from the slave ship and joined the Indians. That's how they build they canoes today, out of the trunk of one tree. And we looked at some in the past. They still got their indigenous American cultures, so-called American, the Indies. They don't have African culture, but they're Negroes. Out of the trunk of a tree like a longboat, and all of one piece, and wonderfully worked considering the country. Now look at that, a one piece of, they saying one tree trunk. Now look, just to go here real quick, we're gonna jump back because we're gonna make some relationships, even proving that the Maroons are not escaped slaves from Africa. They really just indigenous Indians. Look, let's look at the Juka boats. Made out of one, they got their powders and all. I said I was gonna order one of their powders. You can get an authentic Juka powder. But they make it out of the trunk of one tree. And they say they're beautifully made, even to this day. The Native American stuff come up, you saw that? Because they know it's the indigenous people, but they're Negro. The Negro. The true Indian, the Negro. Where that boat at? There it go. That's my boat there. I'm gonna make a boat something like this one day. Carved out one piece. And finally ordained. Very nice. They say they are prepared with a paddle, like a baker's shovel. Say their paddle was up here. Where that paddle was at? All right, that's a laundry beater, food stirrer. Where that boat paddle was at? Right there. Say prepared with paddle, carved and painted wood paddle, Suriname. Finally ordained American Indians. So I'm just touching, connecting dots of just what Columbus said. They are prepared with a paddle like a baker's shovel and go at a marvelous rate. If the canoe capsizes, they all promptly begin to swim and to bail it out with calabashes that they take with them. Calabashes. They just said something about calabashes on here then. Look. Stirs, paddles, and clothes beaters. I just saw calabashes. Where did I see it at? Laundry beaters, combs, houses, Juka. Calabash spoons. Ah, man. Hey. See, that's how I know the Most High with us, boy. We call BS Podcast in the house. I ain't never saw that before, y'all. We discovered that together today, y'all. Look how we just connected the dots on the Juka real quick, all the way back to the Columbus Journal with their calabash spoons, dishes, one trunk canoes. We just connected the damn dots by accident. That's how the Most High works sometimes. He revealed the unknown. Salute. Praise to the Most High. Praise to the Most High. We appreciate that. I didn't even know that Columbus was going to tell us about they being propelled with a paddle like the baker's shovel. And we just saw the baker's shovel. If the canoe capsized, they all promptly began to swim and to bail it out with calabashes. Wow, hey, that's crazy. I didn't even catch that before. I done read this. Black Jack, how you missed that?
You big dummy.
That's like some undeniable evidence. That's like, I don't know how like anybody missed that. Like, this should be taught in class. The Suriname Nagas got calabashes, just like what Columbus and dugout canoes, baker shovel. These Nagas who's supposed to be from Africa, they got every damn thing that Columbus right here telling us about from 1492. See, that's why I be getting mad sometimes. That's why I can't even contain myself sometimes with this information. I can't even get lit on here and go viral because they know I'm a menace. Food stirrer. Yup. Nagas making cornbread. Wow, we took a left turn, but I'm glad we did. I got time. I got all work early today. These Nagas got calabashes that they take with them. They brought skins of cotton threads, parrots, darts, and other small things, which it would be tedious to recount. And they give all in exchange for anything that may be given to them. I was a tenor and took trouble to ascertain if there was gold. I saw that some of them had a small piece fastened in a hole they have in the nose. A gold hoop in the nose, right? And by signs, I was able to make out, wait a minute, before I go there, gold they had in the nose, like a hoop earring. I know exactly what he's talking about, like the Bone Savage. Like, and then we'll pull up the Bone Savage. But before we pull up the Bone Savage, we'll go right here. Because they got the small piece of gold in their nose right now. Look back there. I see a small piece of gold in her nose with the long hair. Right there. But not only that, you know, we've been broke down the culture. I think we did it first about who we really is. And we look at the Bone Savage of Al. I'm gonna just put the Savage of Al. Or the Al Festival, right? Oh, he got gold in his nose, right? Oh, I guess he painted himself black too, huh? Again, look at Christopher Columbus back there smirking. I guess that's what they mean, blackface. When they say paint himself black, gold in the nose, this is what they mean, huh? You know, when they scaring the babies with the American Indian from the Indies in blackface, you know, a minstrel show. The savage, huh? What you mean savage? Like Bone Savage? What you call the Indians? You call them savages? UNESCO urged to remove the savage in blackface. Why is the savage in blackface? Why is the noble savage in blackface? It's offending black communities. Nah, you just telling on yourself. I ain't offended. I know what you mean. You just mean the Bone Savage when you say the Savage of the Al Festival. That's all you mean. You mean the noble savage, just like the clocks that you made, that we so famously highlighted so over and over again. But one more time, the Bone Savage clock. I know what the Savage of Al is. I'm not stupid. They think I don't know. They think I don't know. The Savage of Al is this guy. I know they just mocking us. They're saying, yeah, it's the Indians, the Indies. Yep. We're going to make fun of them in blackface. We're going to spend money making clocks and all kind of stuff. Yep, the Savage. Yep, feathers up. Yep. the savage, right? Yeah, I know they making fun of us, right? The gold hoops and stuff, they making fun of us, right? The Negro. They making fun of the Amerindian. They making fun of the Indian from the Indies, the Amerindian in way 1800s. They called him a savage, a bone savage. Is he a red man? Get a close look. Nope. Not a red man whatsoever. What about he got long straight hair? Nope. So I see what, oh, okay, so I see what's going on when they doing this. The hoop earrings everywhere, and he in blackface with feathers up. See, he's an Indian. He's an Amerindian. He's mocking the Amerindian, the American Indians. He's the so-called American Indians from the Indies, like the ones Columbus enslaved. He's mocking them. Just like the ones Columbus enslaved, with their gold earrings, hoops on, and feathers. They so marvelous. He said they were in very good shape. He said these knockers is fine. That's what Columbus called us, fine, y'all. He said we're a fine people. He said they got feathers on, they got hoop earrings in their ear. He said we're gonna be picking at them at a festival in the air. We're gonna be saying, yeah, the savage. We'll make some bone savage clocks, and we're gonna call them a savage. We're gonna call them a noble savage. We're gonna create racism even more in the babies. We're gonna make them scared. Yeah, we know all the tactics. We know all the tactics. He said he called them savage. What was that? He said, I saw that some of them have a small piece fastened in a hole they have in their nose. And by signs, I was able to make out that to the south, or going from the island to the south, there was a king who had great cups full and who possessed a great quantity. I tried to get them to get the gold there. He wanted to go steal the gold from the king and enslave him too. But afterwards, I saw that they had no inclination. I resolved to wait until tomorrow in the afternoon and then to depart, shaping a course to the southwest, Sunday, October 14. These people are very simple as regards the use of arms, as your highness will see from the 7 that I caused to be taken, to bring home and learn our language and to return. See, he took them ones back to Spain with him to teach them their language and turn them into spies, basically, and to help go enslave more Nagas to learn our language and then return. So they can tell them, yeah, see, now they got 6 or 7 that can speak their language. They can ask me, yeah, show us where the king and the gold at. You see what I'm saying? Now they can go do more dirt, basically, plunder the land even more. They got a couple Nagas they done flipped. And, you know, you got a couple innocent Indians. They over there in Spain learning Spanish and shit. Then they come back with Columbus giving the drop up on the rest of the niggas. Unless your highness should order them all to be brought to Castile or to be kept as captives on the same islands. See, kept you as a slave on the same island he found you. Kept you as a slave right in Georgia where he found you. He didn't have to go get nobody from Africa. For with 50 men, they can all be subjugated and made to do what is required of them, because they don't got no guns. They got bow and arrow. Sunday, November 4th. At sunrise, the admiral again went away, and the boat and landed to hunt the birds he had seen the day before. After a time, Martin Alonso Pinzon came to him with 2 pieces of cinnamon and said that a Portuguese who was once of his crew had seen an Indian carrying 2 very large bundles of it, but he had not bartered for it because of the penalty imposed by the admiral on anyone who bartered. He further said that that this Indian carried some brown things like nutmegs. See, the herbs and spices? There they go right there. He wasn't going to Hindustan for no damn Kamala curry chicken. The master of the Pinta said that he had found the cinnamon trees. The admiral went to the place and found that they were not cinnamon trees. The admiral showed the Indians some specimens of cinnamon and pepper he had brought from Castillo, and they knew it and said by signs that there was plenty in the vicinity, pointing to the southeast. He also showed them gold and pearls, on which certain old men said that there are infinite quantity in a place called Holito. Holito, what's that? City of Gold, maybe? And that the people wore it on their necks, ears, arms, and legs, as well as pearls. Yep, we know the Bone Savage stuff. We know it all add up. All this stuff adds up very easy when you know it. When you know it, it's very easy to get to it. Yeah, pearls and everything. I know, around the arms, bangles. I know, gold everywhere. Like the Moor with the emerald clusters. I know exactly what they're talking about. All right. He further understood them to say that there were great ships and much merchandise, all to the SK. He also understood that far away there were men with one eye and others with dogs' noses who were cannibals, and that when they captured an enemy, they beheaded him and drank his blood. Now this from the Journal of Columbus, right? Dunmore family in the house, salute. Motenegger in the house, salute. This Columbus words. Notice Columbus never said America anywhere in here. Columbus never uttered the words America. Like I say, America Vespucci, according to their narrative, had not been here yet. So how could Columbus have discovered America? He discovered the Indies and the Indians, and he initiated the American diaspora, right? The Indian diaspora. Columbus initiated that, the Negro Indian diaspora, and it was a worldwide enterprise. And the evidence speaks for itself, especially when you look at his own words. He wasn't going to Hindustan. All that BS they told you, that they lied. The man was not going to Hindustan. Yes, Christopher Columbus returned to Barcelona with Native Americans after his first voyage. He kidnapped them. He ain't kidnapped nobody from Africa. The kidnapping was done to Indians in the Indies. We got to keep making that clear. This is all important. There was no Indian Ocean, no land to 1515. So I don't need nobody talking about, well, Blackjack, India had to be over there because the Indian Ocean over there. You dumb. You just getting fooled over and over again. This didn't pop up to 1515. Long after Columbus been here. No nation, people, land, or sea, or country named Indian or India until after Columbus came here. I wonder why. No country. The country that is now known as India was called Hindustan. All this is to fool you and make you think you from Africa and make you think your land is somewhere else. No country known as India in 1492. No country known in their known world. When they're saying known, remember, they're not including us. Columbus was just bringing his monkey ass over here. Columbus in his little war party, they're trying to find the unknown. It was not in their known world. India cannot be Hindustan. The Indian Ocean cannot be here. It's impossible. Columbus ain't say it was there. And it just so happened they put it on the map after Columbus do his thing. Ain't that what a coinky dink? Something else I wanted to touch on before we wrap this up. I done put up a lot of sources. Seems like some of my sources is missing. Let me stroll back. We went through Columbus Journal. It's something else that I wanted to point out though. Let me look here. Wait a minute. Columbus Journal returns to Barcelona with Indians. Oh yeah. I know what I meant to put up next. Let me see. That's Columbus Journal. Go back to this for a second. When we talking about his true purpose of why he came here. Stroll down, son. Look, many people have never considered. Why I keep doing that? Many people have never considered that Columbus was likely a converso, one who chose to convert to Christianity through coercion. They saying he was actually a Jew. They said he actually was not a Christian. They say he actually came and brought Christianity to impose on the Indians to trick them, because he knew they was the tribe of Judah. He knew they was 12 tribes. They say Columbus pushed Christianity on our people because we was the tribes of Israel, and he wanted to make us sin against the Most High so he can inflict doom, diverses on us, enslave us, and take our land. He gonna say, oh, they not keeping the covenant. He gonna say, but I am. See, I'm secretly a Jew, but I'm finna fake like I'm a Christian. I'm finna give them Zeus and make them disobey the Father. Columbus' initial voyage was funded not so much by the Queen, Isabella's jewels, but mostly by a group of wealthy Jews. Columbus hoped to find a source of gold, perhaps King Solomon's mines in America, right? In so-called the Indies, so-called America, right? King Solomon's, the 12 tribes, right? He knew exactly who you were. And then they put in Asia. Yeah, okay. What Asia you speak of? In order to recapture the city of Jerusalem in the Indies, not in Hindustan, from the so-called Muslims, and fund the restoration of the temple. Columbus hoped to find a place of refuge for Christians and Jews alike in order for them to escape the horrors and persecutions descending upon Spain in the Inquisition. I thought he was looking for a long way route to Hindustan. See how they've been lying to you? They're giving up the truth right now. What he was really doing, they was getting kicked out of Spain with the threat of death. But he got to fake like he a Christian and go somewhere else. Columbus traveled with a Jew who spoke Hebrew in hopes of finding the 10 lost tribes during his trip to the Indies. Not to Hindustan, not to India, the fake East India and all this here, talking about he looking for herbs and spices. And just like the Indian Ocean wasn't named that to after 1492, like 1515, Hindustan didn't become East India until the mid 1500s. The East India was never mentioned. The term East Indies was first used in the mid 1500s, long after Columbus came to the Indies, not the West Indies. Somebody said, wait a minute, Columbus, you talking too much. You can't be calling that place the Indies. They said it's too late. Nah, he done said too much. Well, I got an idea. Let's just call it the West Indies. And they said, well, where you going to say the East Indies at? Right next door? And they're going to say, no, that's not going to work. They say, this is the hijack going down. We're going to put that over in Hindustan. And we're going to throw everybody off. And that's going to be India now. We're going to replace Hindustan with India. And we're going to replace the Indies with the Caribs. Now you're talking the Caribbean. And now you're talking America. When it was the Indies all along. The earliest known evidence of this term is from 1568. Way after 1492. And you gonna tell me that's the real India over there where Kamala from, huh? That's what you gonna tell me, huh? At this point, we don't even need no sources. At this point, we just telling the truth. If you don't believe us, you can go study for yourself. Don't waste our time. We ain't gonna babysit nobody and hold no hands. We're gonna explain the truth as we see it. It's not our truth, it's the truth. He say, yeah, let's just replace that name. He say, It wasn't even Christopher Columbus. Columbus said we landed in the Indies. It was the crown. It was the hijackers and the Moranos and the fake Christians that said, you know what, calling that place the Indies, you doing a little bit too much. They're gonna say it's too late now. He done put it down in history. He done put his foot in his mouth. They mad at Columbus for real. That's why he got in prison and went through all the bullshit at the end of his life. They was pissed off at him because he told too much of the truth. He found the Indians and exposed the Indies. And it made it harder and harder to hijack it for him. It really corrupted their hijack. That's what it really did. They mad at him for that. Cause now they got to go through all this lying and all this replacing stuff and say, see, you made this difficult. This could have been easy, Columbus. They said, now we'll just replace Indies. We'll say West Indies first. Well, that's not good enough because now people asking, why is the West Indies way over here and the East Indies way over there? People are not stupid. They're asking questions. They say, well, how come North and South Korea ain't in two different places? People are asking very intelligent questions and doesn't make sense. So let's just scratch. Let's forget about the Indies. Let's just scratch West Indies. Let's just call it the Caribbean now. That's what the hijack did. This ain't what Columbus said. They said to address Columbus's mistakes, he put his foot in his mouth and we pissed off about it. We'll call it the Caribbean. But they didn't know some people were going to keep studying and say, yeah, we know that the word Caribbean is really cannibal. It's another derogatory term, and you took the truth off and you said, man, F that Indies stuff. Call them Nagas cannibals so we can get this doomed our verses going and enslave them. Take the land.
Boom shakalaka!
Name it whatever the hell we want to after that. And in fact, this the now. This the Caribbean. This the land of the cannibals now. We're gonna enslave them and take the land. The Indies, shut up. Well, what about the West Indies? Shut up. You're doing too much. Origin. The word cannibal comes from the Spanish word cannibal, which was Christopher Columbus's version of the word carrot. You know, just like everything else we call ourselves, like black, something derogatory, just another one. But it's all right though, because all they're doing is leaving more and more evidence, more and more mountains of evidence about what really went down. Christopher Columbus said he encountered carrots, right? He said, he said West Indians. He called them cannibals. Carrots, and now they say later on, they say, well, let's just name the island the Caribbean, the cannibals, right? Well, you're still telling on yourself. You try to be derogatory and this is all you want, but you're still telling on yourself because we know when Columbus came here, you just giving us more ammo on who Columbus encountered when he came here. That's all you just doing. When you do that, you're just telling on yourself. Go ahead and call us cannibals if you want to. You're just telling on yourself. You're just telling who Columbus encountered. The Negroes. You're just telling on yourself who was here. Yeah, we call it the Caribbean now. Call them caribs. Yeah, Columbus found these Tainos and Arawaks all in Haiti and Puerto Rico, the Dominican, and changing names and replacing stuff. Call them caribs now, huh? Well, we know. You just keep telling on yourself. We know. Garifuna, say they Africans. Yeah, we know you're gonna lie again. We know you're gonna lie again. They done lied so much that they can't even keep up with their lies. They done lied so much that they telling on themselves in a lot of ways. They telling on themselves in so many ways. The Caribs, huh? I thought they was red men with straight hair, huh? This who Columbus, nappy headed with pearls on and hoops on. Look just like, ain't that a coincidence? You mean to tell me Ramon Pagari just happened to paint the same thing? Ain't that a coincidence? Or is it not? Is it not a coincidence? Is it not a coincidence that Roman Pagari, who died in 1903, painted the same damn thing that looked like a carib, a so-called carib, when Columbus returned to Barcelona with the people he enslaved, when he initiated slavery in the Indies? They can't get around none of this stuff, man. They can't run. It's like it's all over the place. You gotta be the not understand and not see. You just gotta be drinking the Kool-Aid, basically. You just gotta be drinking the Kool-Aid. Cause this information is not speculation. It's not speculation at all. Columbus himself made his motivations plain in his own words in his book of prophecies. He wrote of the vast land he hoped to discover. He didn't say he was looking for no trip to Hindustan. They already knew about Hindustan. He was looking to discover the unknown world, the Indies. He said he was looking to discover the vast land. He wasn't going to no Hindustan, no fake India. A place that would be home of Christianity and a refuge for the Jewish people, because he knew the 12 tribes was over there. He took a Hebrew interpreter with him. He traveled with a Jew who spoke Hebrew so he could talk to the Indians. He said a place that would be home of Christianity. He wanted to deliver the gold of Ophir, the bounty of King Solomon's mines. So the monarchs who had, he talking Israelites. I keep telling y'all, some people be asking me, well, Blackjack, I don't get it. First you say we the Native Americans, then you say we the Israelites. I don't get it.
Boom shakalaka!
Yeah, go ask Columbus then. That's why he took a Hebrew interpreter. When he came to the Indies, when he came to India Superior. Go ask him. Man, all this stuff don't connect for no reason, man. It's not a coincidence. Columbus knew exactly where he was going. Sometimes you gotta look for yourself and not wait on the mainstream or the narrative to tell you what really went down, to tell you what the real truth is. You'll be misled every single time. It ain't it ain't your enemy responsibility to tell you the truth. He gonna point you, just like you expect your enemy to tell you the truth while he enslaving you. The same way you expect him to tell you the truth, talking about where you from, he gonna point you in the wrong direction. Just like they told you Columbus went west to go to Hindustan. He gonna have you looking the wrong way once again. He gonna have you looking when your motherland was right under your feet the whole time. Hey man, I'm Blackjack, man. This House of Cons, man. I'm gonna keep bringing this fire for y'all, just to give y'all ammo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, at this point we don't need no sources. We put it together how we want to, because we know what we talking about. If anybody don't believe us, they can go research for themselves. We ain't holding nobody's hand. Even if I throw it at you like this, don't come at me talking about, man, I need to see sources, man. F your sources. Now you throw these ass up and read,
Shakalaka!
If I give it to you, I gave it to you. You're just gonna take it like I give it to you. I ain't gotta give it to you. Where the sources, nigga? You nigga get on my nerves sometimes, man. This ain't no source, nigga. It's a statement in truth. There's plenty of sources to back every last bit of it up. You go get them yourself, though. You go get the sources yourself. You don't believe what we saying? Go get the sources yourself. Debunk us then. Hey, man, I'm Blackjack, man. It's House of Cons, man. Hey, we coming on Rumble soon, y'all. Go join the Rumble. We got 20 people following so far. We're trying to get at least 30. Can I get 10 more followers on Rumble so we can put some live streams on there? We need like 30 noggers in the room, man. We can start dropping content on there. Some of these live streams over there. We're going to shake off YouTube. We're going to be coming on Rumble, y'all. Go follow House of Cons on Rumbles. Don't be late. Hey, I'm going to catch y'all next time, though. And we out, y'all. Peace.